أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله صلاة والسلام أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا ولي الله صلاة والسلام أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا حجة الله صلاة والسلام حي على الصلاح حي على الصلاح حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله اللهم اجعلنا قلبي سارا واجعلنا
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يوصينا معه العادون ولا يودي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بهد الهمم ولا يناله غوث الفتن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت محدود ولا عجل ممدود فترى الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالسخر ميدان أرض ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيبنا وحبيب رب العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعن على أعدائهم أجمعين من أول يوم ظلمهم إلى قيام يوم الدين أما بعد فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المبين وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يؤتي الحكمة من يشاء ومن يؤتى الحكمة فقد أوتي خيرا كثيرا صدق الله العظيم. Dear brothers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, tonight and tomorrow morning tonight, inshallah, will be the night for the wiladat of Imam Riza alayhi salam, and tomorrow Saturday is the day for the wiladat of Imam Riza alayhi salam. So the khutbah for today will be a little bit about the life of Imam Riza alayhi salam and what we can learn from his life. as we know, Imam Riza alayhi salam, if I was to ask many people what they know about Imam Riza alayhi salam, they would know a few things, that's it. They know that he's the son of Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam. If I was to ask them what his mother's name was, maybe they won't know. Some people might know, but if I was to ask them what his mother's name was, they wouldn't know. If I was to ask them where his mother was from, they wouldn't know. If I was to ask them how did Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam get together with the mother of Imam Riza alayhi salam, they wouldn't know. If I was to ask other aspects of the life of Imam Riza alayhi salam, many people wouldn't know. They would know that he's the son of Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam. They would know that he was martyred by whom? Mamun Rashid Lanatullah alayhi. They would know that Mamun Rashid, he offered him khilafat. He made Imam Riza alayhi salam Wali al-Amr after him. These are the things that they would know. They would know that his son also was the 9th Imam. But other than that, other aspects of Imam Riza alayhi salam's life, many people don't know. So that's why I want to look at the life of Imam Riza alayhi salam and find out what we can learn from his life. One thing is that of all of the Imams, Imam Riza alayhi salam has been given the title of Alim al Muhammad, the scholar of Al Muhammad, the scholar of the progeny of Muhammad. Why was Imam Riza alayhi salam given this title? Who was the first person? Who was the person who gave Imam this title? If you look at Shia history, the Holy Prophet, he had said what? He had said, Ana Madinatul Ilm, I am the city of knowledge. Yet he wasn't given that title of Alim al Muhammad. Imam Ali alayhi salam, the Holy Prophet said that Ali alayhi salam, he is Babulilm, he is the gate to that city of knowledge. Yet Imam Ali alayhi salam, he wasn't given that title of Alim al Muhammad. Even though we know how much knowledge Amir al-Mu'mineen had. You have Nahj al-Balagha of Amir al-Mu'mineen, which is filled with the sermons of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You can see how much knowledge Amir al-Mu'mineen was carrying. You have not just Nahj al-Balagha, you have other khutbahs of Amir al-Mu'mineen, you have other sermons of Amir al-Mu'mineen that tell us how much knowledge he had. You had Imam Hassan alayhi salam, you had Imam Hussein alayhi salam, you had all of these Imams. You had Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, in whose time the fiqh of Jafari, the Shia school of thought, spread everywhere. Yet Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam is not known as Alim al Muhammad. Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, who went, Baqir means what? Someone that goes to the kernel, goes to the middle of knowledge. Yet Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, he wasn't known as Alim al Muhammad. What was the reason that Imam Riza alayhi salam was given this title? What was it that Imam Riza alayhi salam did in his lifetime for him to earn this title? This title, the first person to say this title was whom? Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam himself. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, he himself, he says to Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam, this was about 15 days before he passed away. 15 days before Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, 15 days, 25 days, a month, maximum a month, because the narrations of the Shahadat of Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, they're different, two different. In the same month, but they're different. But maximum a month before Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, he passed away, he calls his son, Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam, and he says, Ya Musa, for you a son will be born who will be known as Alim al Muhammad. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he says to Imam Musa Kazim alayhi salam, to you a son will be born who will be known as Alim al Muhammad. And he doesn't stop there. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, may my parents be sacrificed for him. If only I was to live in his time. If only I was to live in his time. So what was it that Imam Riza alayhi salam was able to do that Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam wasn't able to do? What was it? Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he had his debates. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, he had his university in Masjid Nabawi. But what was it? If you look at the life of Imam Riza alayhi salam, what did Mamun try to do? Mamun, he would gather everyone and anyone that could debate. He had his hall filled with Christians. He had his hall filled with Jews. He had his hall filled with Zoroastrians. He had his hall filled with Hindus. He had his hall filled with atheists. He had his hall filled with whom? Philosophers. Just so all of these people can debate with the Imam. In one sitting, Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, none of the tyrants of Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam's time did this to Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. They didn't gather all these people together in one sitting so they could debate with the Imam, so these people can try to disprove the imamat of this Imam. But that's exactly what Ma'mun used to do. Whenever he would hear that Fulan person who is a scholar in philosophy, Fulan person who is a knowledgeable person in Hinduism, in Christianity, he would call these people and he would have them debate with the Imam. Why? Just so he could go and tell everyone else, look, this person claims to have knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet he cannot even defeat this person in a debate. And it was because of these settings, it was because Ma'mun used to do this with the Imam was given the title of Alim Al Muhammad. What does that mean? In these settings, the most famous debate of the Imam, Ma'mun Rashid Lantlalay, he has brought a representative of every school, of every religion, even atheists. And he's brought them in front of the Imam and he's told them, these people, that my cousin from Medina, he's here. He is one of the scholars of the Arabs. I want you to debate with him. I want you to debate with him about your religion, about philosophy. When he gathered all these scholars, he sends one of his servants to go call the Imam. And the Imam tells that servant of Ma'mun Rashid, okay, I'll be there, just go back. When that servant of Ma'mun leaves, the Imam looks at his servant and he asks him, do you know why Ma'mun has done this? And the servant of Imam Rida alayhi salam, he says, no, I don't know. Ibn Rasulullah, I don't know. Imam tells him the reason. He says that Ma'mun, what he hopes to do with these debates is that he hopes that I fail in these debates so tomorrow he can go tell the public that this is the person that you all call Imam. This is the person who claims to have the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the reason. But he tells his servant, he tells his companion, he says, but you will see soon that it won't be me that will be displeased with these debates. It won't be me that will falter in these debates. You'll see that when I speak to the Christians through the Bible, you see when I speak to the Jews through the Torah, you see when I speak to the Zoroastrians in their language through the book that Prophet Zoroaster had, you'll see when I speak to the Hindus in their language, you'll see when I speak to the philosophers in the words and in the language that they understand, that it will be Ma'mun who will realize that he's made a huge mistake. It will be Ma'mun. And this is exactly what happened in this debate. The most famous debate where the Imam, he debates with all these religious scholars. The first person the Imam deals with is the Christian scholar. When the Imam comes and he sits on the chair, Ma'mun, he tells the Christian scholar to begin asking the Imam questions. And when he does that, the Christian scholar, he says to Ma'mun, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, how can I debate with someone whose book I don't believe in? How can I debate with someone whose prophet I don't believe in? And how can I debate with someone who doesn't believe in my book? The Imam, he looks at that Christian scholar and he says, oh Christian, if I debate with you through your own book, will you accept what I have to say? And the scholar, he goes, why not? This is my book. There's some things that we all need to understand from this. One, if you look at the debates of any of the Imams, the first thing you'll notice is that the Imams did not go and engage in debates. The Imams did not go to look for people to debate with. No. All of these people, they came to the Imam to debate with them. There's some Shias who believe that, hey, you know what, we should go debate. No. There's no reason. The Imam is saying when you know for certain that you're on the right path, there's no reason for you to go and try to prove your view, to prove your view of Islam to other people. If they think that they're on the right path and they want to disprove your view, then let them come to you. There's no need for you to go to them. And this is what a lot of people do. They want to engage in debates and they go to them. No. The Imams never did this. When you look at any of the debates of any of the Imams, you'll see that none of them went to go engage in debates. People would come to them. Second, the Imam is teaching us what? If you have to debate, how do you debate? You debate the Christian using their own book. Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. You debate the Jews using their own book. You debate the Zoroastrians using their own book. You debate the philosophers using their own words, their own logic, their own philosophy. You debate the Hindus using their own books. Many of us, when we debate, how do we debate? We'll use the Quran. The person we're debating with might not even believe in the Quran. So what is the point? And right now, this is what happens within Islam itself. When Shias and Sunni debate, what do a lot of them do? The Shias will use their proofs from their books. The Sunnis will use proofs from their books. I don't believe in Sunni books. I don't believe in Sunni narrations. So why are you going to give me Sunni narrations? The same way, they don't believe in Shia books. They don't believe in Shia narrations. So are they going to accept the narrations from the Shia sources? No. Am I going to accept narrations from Sunni sources? No. But if they were to show me proofs from Shia sources, then I would have to accept. If I was to show them proofs from Sunni sources, then they would have to accept. You debate someone using what? Their own words. You debate them using their own knowledge. You debate them using their own books. Why? Because they believe their books to be true. Many of us will go debate just for the sake of debating. Imam Riza alayhi salam saying, no. If you want to debate, debate the way we debated. And if you don't have the knowledge to debate, don't engage in debates. Don't engage in debates. Because what happens if you engage in a debate and you don't have an answer to what the person is saying, your iman becomes lower. Not only does your iman become lower, but what happens to your school of thought? Now that person is thinking, this person doesn't even know what he's following. This is why the Imam said there's no reason for you to engage in debates. And debating wasn't for everyone. The Imam Jafar Sadiq specifically, he used to teach people the fun of debate. He used to teach people how to debate. But it wasn't everyone. It was specific individuals. Specific individuals. But today, everyone feels like, you know what, they can all debate. Which isn't correct. No, not everyone can debate. People that have some knowledge of the book, yes, by all means. But that doesn't mean you go find the debate. That means let them come to you if they want to seek something. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. But when it comes to Imam Riza alayhi salam, the first thing he does when he tells this Christian priest that it's no problem, I will debate with you using your own book. And the Christian priest, he asks him questions. And the Imam, he narrates from where? From the Bible. He narrates from the Bible. When he narrates from the Bible about the prophethood, because the Christians obviously they didn't accept the prophethood of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when he asks him about the prophethood of the Holy Prophet, Imam Riza alayhi salam, he recites what? Verses from the Bible. When he recites verses from the Bible, the Christian priest, he couldn't say anything. Why? Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. Why? Because these are verses from his own book. So he stays quiet. When he stays quiet, then the Imam, he asks, he goes, can I ask you a question? And he goes, yes, if I have an answer, I'll definitely answer. The Imam, he says, look, we believe in the Isa alayhi salam, who the Holy Prophet told us about. We believe in the Isa that believed in the Holy Prophet. But there's one thing that I have reservations for about Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. One thing. And the Christian priest, he goes, what's that? And Imam, he says, look, Nabila Isa alayhi salam, he didn't fast a lot and he didn't pray a lot. That's the only thing. Other than that, I believe everything. That's when this Christian priest, he laughs at him and he laughs at the Imam. He says, up until now, I was thinking that you were the most knowledgeable person in the Arabs. but what you just said right now makes me doubt. And the Imam, he goes, why? What did I say? He goes, you just said that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam didn't pray enough and he didn't fast. Whereas it's a fact that Hazrat Isa alayhi salam used to fast all day and used to stay up for prayer all night. So Hazrat Imam Riza alayhi salam, he says, well, O Christian priest, if that's what he used to do, then who did he do that for? You believe him to be God. If he was God, then who was he doing that for? All of those sajdas that he did, who was it for? That fasting that he was doing, who was it for? You say that he's God. Look at the argument. That argument can still be used today within the Shia community that believe Amir al-Mu'mineen to be God. And there aren't a few. These people, there aren't a few. If you go to Azerbaijan, many Azeris, they are Nusayris. If you go to Turkey, you'll find a lot of them. All you have to do is ask them, Amir al-Mu'mineen, did he pray or no? Yes, he prayed. When he did sajda, who did he do sajda for? Was it for himself or for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When he fasted, who did he fast for? Was it for himself or was it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That's it. When Imam Riza alayhi salam said this, what happened? Alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. The Christian priest, he was silent. When he was silent, then he moved on to whom? He moved on to the Jewish. He moved on to the Jewish priest. And he asked the Jewish priest, why is it that you don't believe in the nabuwat of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam and you don't believe in the nabuwat of the Holy Prophet? The Jews, they don't believe in the prophethood of Nabiullah Isa and they don't believe in the prophethood of the Holy Prophet, the last prophet. So he asked him, why is it that you don't believe in the prophethood of both of these prophets? The first thing the Jewish priest, he says is, look, anyone that did the same miracles that Nabiullah Musa alayhi salam did, anyone that was able to part the sea, anyone that was able to put a stick down and was able to make it turn into a serpent, anyone that was able to turn their hand completely white, anyone that was able to do any of this, we accept them as prophets. Then Imam Riza alayhi salam says, if that's the case, that you only and only accept those people that did the same miracles as Nabiullah Musa alayhi salam, then why is it that you accept those people that didn't do any of those miracles that came before Nabiullah Musa alayhi salam to be prophets? Meaning, why is it that you accept Hazrat Nuh alayhi salam to be a prophet? Hazrat Nuh never did the exact same miracles. Hazrat Ibrahim never did the exact same miracles. Hazrat Yaqub never did the exact same miracles. Yet you accept them to be prophets. Then what does the Jewish priest say? He says, no. Anyone who was able to do any miracle that other people weren't able to do, we accept them as prophets. Then he says, well, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, what did he do? He was able to walk on water. Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, he was able to raise back the dead. Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, he was able to cure the leper. He was able to cure the blind. At that time, no one was able to do it. So why don't you accept his nabuwat? And what does the Jewish priest say? He says, because we didn't see it. We didn't see it. That's when Imam Riza alayhi salam says, well, you never saw Hazrat Musa alayhi salam do his miracles, yet you believe his miracles. Why? Because information came to us. Imam says, that's how everything works. We live so far after these events happen. We live so far after these events happen. We didn't live in the time of the event. So obviously we did not see the event. The information came to us. The Jewish priest, he stays quiet. Then what happens? He looks at the Zoroastrian. He asks him, why is it that you don't believe in the prophets that came after Prophet Zoroaster? He says what? He says, look, we believe in anyone who committed miracles, anyone who did any sort of miracle, we believe them to be prophets. And he says the same thing the Jewish priest said. He said, we don't believe in the nabuwat of the holy last prophet. Why? We don't believe in the nabuwat of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. Why? Because we didn't see it. And he says the same thing. You didn't see the miracles of Prophet Zoroaster, but you believe in him. And what does he say? He says, yes, but we received information from our ancestors that these people did these miracles. And the Imam, he says, that's perfectly fine. You live 2,000 years, you're living 3,000 years after that event. The people that are living now have received the same information about Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. Yet you don't believe in Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. That's just how life is working right now. Why? Because we're living way past the time of the event. That's the same thing that's happening. That's the same thing that happened with the Muslims. Hazrat Imam Riza alayhi salam, he's living hundreds of years after the miracles that the Holy Prophet did. The Muslims that are living in the time of Imam Riza alayhi salam, they're living hundreds of years after. Yet they believe in it. Why? Because that information came to them. That information came to them. So why was it that Imam Riza alayhi salam was known as Alim Muhammad? It was because of these types of debates. It wasn't just one or two people that the Imam was dealing with. No, it wasn't just the Muslims that the Imam was debating amongst. In Medina, most of the people that Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam was debating with were whom? Arabs. Most of the people that Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam was debating with were Arabs. He wasn't debating with Christians. He wasn't debating with Jews. He wasn't debating with Zoroastrians. No, Imam Riza alayhi salam, he was debating with all of these types of people. All of these types of people. And because of that, the knowledge that Imam Riza alayhi salam had through those debates, it spread where? Throughout the world. Because of those debates. Why? Because you had Hindus come from where? Hindustan, to come and debate. You had philosophers come from where? From Greek to come and debate. You didn't have those types of people in the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You didn't have those types of people in the time of the Holy Prophet. You didn't have those types of people in the time of even Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. If you look at the debates of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, Imam Hud Baqir alayhi salam, they were all just within the Arab community. Yes, you had the atheists, you had the agnostics within the Arab community, but they were all within the Arab community. Imam Riza alayhi salam, he's debating with all these different types of people in their own language. The Hindus in Hindi, the Greeks in Greek, the Muslims in Arabic, the Christians through their Bible, the Jews through the Torah. This is why it's important, brothers, to learn the life of some of these personalities. Why? So we can learn and apply what we learn from these personalities. One of the most famous narrations of Imam Riza alayhi salam is known as what? Silsilatul Zahab. The golden chain of narration. And what is that golden chain? And why is it considered to be a golden chain? That chain itself, it's considered to be a golden chain. Why? Because Imam Riza alayhi salam, he says that I heard from my father, Musa ibn Jafar, who heard from his father, Jafar ibn Muhammad, who heard from his father, Muhammad ibn Ali, who heard from his father, Hussein ibn Ali, who heard from his father, Ali ibn Abi Talib, who heard from the Holy Prophet, who heard from Jibreel, who heard from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this chain, there's nothing but Masumeen. Because there's no one other than Masumeen, this chain is known as Silsilatul Zahab, the golden chain. And what is what is this narration? This narration, the Holy Prophet said that he heard from Jibreel, who heard from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, La ilaha illallah hasni. The kalima of La ilaha illallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, the kalima of La ilaha illallah is my fortress. فَمَنْ دَخَلَ حَسْنِي amana min adhabi. Whoever enters this fortress surely has saved himself from my azab. Surely has saved himself from my punishment. But Imam, he goes on to say one thing. He goes on to say, bishurutiha. Wa ana min shurutiha. He says, look, this narration is absolutely true, but there are conditions to be saved from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's azab. It's not just that you say La ilaha illallah, you've entered Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's fortress and you're saved from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's azab. No. He says that there are conditions for this. And I am of those conditions. Meaning what? Meaning imamat is of those conditions. Imamat is of those conditions. And you look at Shias today, we do matam, that's enough. We don't need to pray. We don't need to pray. We do matam, we cry for Abu Abdullah al-Hussein al-Islam. Inshallah, we'll have shifa at the end. There's no need for us to pray. No, that's not how it works, brothers. That's not how it works. This narration says that kalima la ilaha, to enter the fortress of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's shurut. If you don't meet those shurut, if you don't meet those requirements, if you don't meet those conditions, then you won't be saved from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's azab. The same way, to get the shafa'at of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, there are also shurut. There are also conditions. If you don't meet those conditions, then you won't get the shafa'at of the Ahlul Bayt. If it was true that anyone that cried for what happened to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein al-Islam and his family, that they'll be forgiven on the day of Karbala, when Imam Hussein al-Islam brought forth his 6-month-old son Ali al-Asghar, everyone that was in the camp of Yazid, they started to cry. They all started to cry. Do you think that they will be forgiven? They were crying for Imam Hussein alayhi salam. They were crying for what was happening to Hazrat Ali Asghar. Do you think they will be forgiven because they were crying? No. There's shurut for this shafa'ah. There are conditions for this shafa'at. And Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, look, our shafa'at isn't for anyone that takes prayers lightly. Our shafa'at isn't for anyone. No one who takes prayers to be not important will receive our shafa'at. This is what the Masumin are saying. Yet you have Shias that say, no, we cry for Imam Hussein alayhi salam, that's enough. If that was true, there's no one that cried more on Imam Hussein alayhi salam than Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Yet he was known as Zainul Abidin, the ornament of the worshippers. Where are we? Where are our imams? How are we interpreting what the imams have said? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul huwallahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يوصي نعمه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بهد الهمم ولا يناله غوث الفتن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت محدود ولا أجل ممدود فترى الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالصخور ميدان أرض ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيبنا وحبيب رب العالمين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على نبينا محمد وآله وإمام المسلمين أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب وعلى سيدة النساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء صلوات الله عليها وعلى سيد الشباب أهل الجنة الحسن والحسين عليهما السلام اللهم صل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي اللهم صل على مولانا حجة ابن الحسن صاحب العصر والزمان اللهم كن وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. اللهم صل على محمد. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا حجة الله. أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا حجة الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أعطيناك الكوثر فصل لربك وانحر إن شانئك هو الأبتر. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم. لا إله إلا الله العلي العظيم. سبحان الله رب السماوات السبع ورب الأرضين السبع وما فيهن وما بينهن ورب العرش العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. بحول الله وقوته يقوم. أعوذ بالله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم. لا إله إلا الله العلي العظيم. سبحان الله رب السماوات السبع ورب الأرضين السبع وما فيهن وما بينهن ورب العرش العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه. الله أكبر. سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده. يا ولي الله في سرك الله في وافية الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. الله أكبر. الحمد لله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك أيها النبي ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله. بسم الله. سبحان ربي العظيم. سبحان ربي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي حجة الله اللهم صل على محمد أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر بحول الله وقوته بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله أكبر اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم لا إله إلا الله العلي العظيم سبحان الله رب السماوات السبع ورب الأرضين السبع وما فيهن وما بينهن ورب العرش العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر الحمد لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد بحول الله وقوته الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر أستغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر
Subhanallah, 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 Subhana Rabbi al-Ala wa bihamdih. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Bihawlillahi wa quwwatihi ya qawma. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, 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 Subhana Rabbi al-Azimi wa bihamdih. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Samallahu liman hamidah. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, 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 Subhana Rabbi al-Ala wa bihamdih. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah, 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 Subhana Rabbi al-Ala wa bihamdih. Ya wali la fi sarika la fi wa fi ad-din wa ad-dunya wa al-akhirah. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Assalamu alaikum ya Siddiqatu Fatima Zahra Sayyidatun Nisa'il Alamin. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana Hasan al-Mushtaba. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Gharib al-Ghuraba ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Ali ibn al-Husayn. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Muhammad ibn Ali. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Jafar ibn Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Musa ibn Jafar. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Ali ibn Musa. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Muhammad ibn Ali. Assalamu alaikum ya Maulana ya Ali ibn Muhammad. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا حسن ابن علي. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب العصر الزمان. علمان 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 من الفتن الزمان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وزهورك وجعلنا من أنصارك ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم صل على عليكم السلام. تقبل.
So you gave the paperwork?
Yeah, I have the paperwork.
Yeah, but I was going to ask, because on the 18th at home, so please come or come.
Yeah, I
with
just
Aga.
with that.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
yeah. No, but I'm there. Because I'm off next week.
It's on the 18th, right?
Yeah, for Aga
Yeah.
18th. For you.